People also left a bunch of comments on my videos saying that Dash is more centralized than Bitcoin. And so they say the Bitcoin purists are always going to want the most decentralized system, and that's why they're going to stick with Bitcoin. Now, what a lot of people mean when they say this is that Dash has a formal governance structure. The thing that they overlook is that Bitcoin also has a governance structure. It's just that it's not formalized. So when people want a vote on Bitcoin, they defer to the miners or to the voters. Now with Bitcoin, as with Dash, it would be cost prohibitive to try to dominate the mining. It would cost millions or tens of millions of dollars to set up mining rigs to influence that. However, with Bitcoin, with the nodes, it would not be cost prohibitive to set up thousands of nodes. You just use virtual private servers and you'll be able to dominate it. With Dash, you can't do that because you need to have 1,000 Dash per master-node. It's going to be cost prohibitive. The second thing is with the master nodes or with the full nodes, with Bitcoin, there are likely to be less full nodes over time because there's a cost associated. With Dash, there are likely to be more full nodes, more master nodes over time because they're rewarded. So that's a risk of centralization that goes to Bitcoin. Now, the third thing is with the dev team. So Bitcoin's dev team is actually more centralized than Dash's because the funding comes from a handful of sources. So from DTCC, Blockstream, MIT's Digital Currency Initiative. The thing is, if the Bitcoin community, if the nodes or the miners or the people who used it decided that they didn't want the Bitcoin dev team receiving funding from MIT, they couldn't just say, no, stop the funding. That's between the dev team and Blockstream or MIT. That's their decision. However, with Dash, if the master nodes decide that they don't want to fund a certain dev team, then they can cut off the funding. That's something they can do. So you have these hundreds or thousands of individuals making the decision on what's going to be better for the network. The last thing on that point is about Dash Central. So Dash Central is the website where you can submit proposals and you can review proposals, vote on them. Of course, it has central in the name, so you've got to ask, well, is it centralized? So maybe someone could make a case because it's a website, there's administrators on there, maybe they could go in and censor some posts or stop people voting. At least we know it is mitigated because the data is on the blockchain. Now, so when you look at it those ways, across those four different factors, you can see, okay, well, maybe it's true Dash is more centralized in some aspects, but it's also true that Bitcoin is more centralized in some aspects. So it's not exactly a fair criticism without introducing a level of nuance.